It is not the beauty of the building, but actually the construction of the foundation that makes that building so strong. I want you to think about that as we go through our 20-minute core workout. What's up? My name's Christina, and thank you so much for being here. We're gonna work through zones 1 and zone 2, so grab your heart rate monitor, make sure that it is turned on and connected, and aside from that, we are ready to warm things up. Go ahead, spread your feet so that they're a little bit wider than your hips and let your shoulders just relax. Take a big breath overhead and bring it right back down. We're gonna go into our basic squat and just driving your knee up towards the outside of both shoulders, nice and easy. We're here for 30 seconds. So we have 3 minutes of movements, 6 movements, 30 seconds apiece, just designed to get us a little bit warmer and prep us for our actual workout. We're here for another 2. Let's get 1 more in and plant your feet down on the ground. Take your hands right to the outside of your ears. Open up your elbows nice and wide, little bend in both knees, and just hinge at your waistline. Start to fire up your hamstrings a little bit, squeezing your glutes right at the top. Inhale on the down, and exhale on the up. Beautiful. We only have about 5 seconds here. So nice and easy, take your time. In 2, let's get that last one in. And you're gonna keep your elbows up nice and high. You can even wrap your hands right around the backs of your ears and just taking your knee to the opposite elbow. Little rotation of your torso here. You could already hear it in my breathing and my speaking. Your heart rate's elevating a little bit higher into zone 1. Chin is out of your neck. Nice. We've got about 5 seconds, so let's get 2 more in, 1 more, and let it go. Bring your hands down, let them relax for a second, and plant your feet so that your heels are right underneath your hips. We're gonna take a giant step out towards the left side, so driving your hips back, come right back into center, and big reach over towards the opposite side. There we go. And opposite side. Let's get 1 more in towards each side, over towards the left, reach towards the right, and 1 more. Last one, and let it go. So you're gonna start on your left side, take a giant step back. You're gonna kind of drive your knee down towards the ground. If you're like me and you have no balance, do your best. And you're just gonna rotate towards the opposite side or your front leg and drive it right back. Be kind to yourself here. I have horrible balance, but that's what we're working on. It's actually utilizing our core to help keep our balance and keep us nice and steady. 1 more, and stand it up nice and tall. So now that we've got that out of the way, we have 1 more. Let's bring it down to the ground. So find yourself in your high plank, stacking your shoulders directly over your wrists, and we're just gonna start to drive our knees in. Nice and easy with your mountain climbers. We're not here long. We only have about 15 seconds, so we're halfway through already. Elevation of your heart rate, highest point of zone 1. And just setting us up, let's get 3 more in, 2, and pop it on in. Stand up nice and tall, and breathe. So this is what we've got going on. Grab yourself just 1 dumbbell. Not too light, but definitely not on the heavier side. Something around that moderate. Our first block, we have 45 seconds of work on, 15 seconds of work off, 4 moves, 2 times. Are you ready? All right. So go ahead, grab your dumbbell. Again, take your feet so that they're about hip width apart, pull your shoulders back, taking your dumbbell and your left hand right up towards your cheek. Let that opposite hand relax. So we are gonna go into a single arm weighted punch. Are you ready for it? Let's go. 45 seconds. So imagine your torso, your whole midsection, your core was a towel. And we want to wring that towel out. That is the sensation that you have here. So it's a little squeeze. If you want to keep the opposite hand, like I'm doing, right on top of your belly, a little bit towards your oblique, keeping everything nice and controlled, you can actually feel the activation. Little movement in your hip, and think about squishing something underneath the ball of your foot so that as you rotate, everything comes with you. It protects all your joints and makes our movement that much more efficient. We have another 5 seconds. Little recovery on deck. Remember, 15 seconds off. Last one here. And let it go. Now, I know you're like, okay, my arm is tired. Yes, and that's the beauty of movement, right? Most of the time, you're using more than one muscle. Take that dumbbell to the opposite hand. We're going to do the same thing to the opposite side. If you want to take the left hand to your belly, go right ahead. Let's go. Join me. 45 seconds. So we're still in the high end of zone 1 here. We're not jumping into zone 2 yet. We will get there, but we're not going to get there until our second block of work. So for these 4 movements, just think about, you can kind of carry a conversation, but you really shouldn't be because you should be paying attention to what you're doing. Nice. A little rotation. You can let your eyes follow along. You want to try to keep your elbow and your wrist in line with your shoulder. There you go. We have 10 seconds left. And we have another little recovery setting us up for our windmill. In 4, 3, 2, and let it go. How did that feel so far? Good? All right, so take your dumbbell back to the opposite side. Now take a look at my feet for a second. You're gonna take your right foot and you're gonna turn it out slightly. And you're gonna shift your weight over to that right side. Take your left arm, big press overhead so that your ear and the inside of your bicep meet. Right knuckles to the inside of your thigh. And just follow overhead as you try to reach down towards the inside of your right calf. There we go. Nice and easy. We have 45 seconds here. Little reach. Now, it's extremely important that your left shoulder stay in line with your right shoulder. Imagine you were wedged in between 2 walls. There's a wall right in front of you and a wall right behind you. Do not touch either wall. That should give you a little bit of an idea of the alignment and where your body should be. And you're not reaching down all the way to the floor. If your toes can touch the ground, you have either really long arms, you're extremely flexible, or you're coming out of alignment. We have 5 seconds here. Let's get one more in, last time, and bring your dumbbell down, uncurl it, and just walk it over to the other side. So we're gonna shift our feet now, turning your left toes out slightly. If you were looking at a giant clock, you're not at the 3 or 9 o'clock hour, you're just before it. So take your dumbbell overhead, big press, and again, knuckles to the inside of your thigh. Let's go, 45 seconds. You have it. Nice and slow. There is no rushing. There is no judgment. There is not even a number count. You have time here. We're working off of time. So the number of reps that you get in are the number of reps that work for you right now. You should start to feel your obliques firing up. We have about 20 seconds left here. You will always find that one side is tighter than the other. It just feels different, and that's normal. 10 seconds left. Like, this side is much tighter for me than the other. 5 more seconds, not 5 more reps. And let's bring it all the way to the top. Weight down, uncurl. Go ahead, switch hands. And we are going to go right back to the top. So plant your feet a little bit closer this time, bringing your thumb right towards your cheekbone. And you could take that opposite hand, your right hand, right to your belly so that you could feel that rotation. And let's go, 45 seconds. It is not about how fast you go. Remember, the high point of zone 1 here. A little rotation of your wrist so that your palm ends up facing downward, bringing your thumb right back up towards your cheekbone. 1 single dumbbell cross punch, that's it. Wring out your towel, bring it right back. Little squish under the ball of your foot, bring it right back. We're more than halfway. We have about 15 seconds left, and you get to give this arm a little break. 10 seconds, and you always have the opportunity to put the weight down and continue to go through the movement if you need to. Remember, no ego, no judgment, not from me ever. Never towards yourself either. Last one, bring your dumbbell down, switch hands, shake it on out. Reposition yourself. Sometimes we move around as we're moving. Bring your dumbbell in, take that opposite hand. Again, feel your movement, and let's go right back in to our cross body punch. Little rotation, and right back. Think about where you're starting to feel this. Maybe you can twist a little bit deeper than you thought you could. Taking your elbow, rotating it down, and back up and over. You're here. We're here together. Little beads of sweat starting to trickle down your back. 20 seconds. And this is the last time we go through this movement. We have our windmills up, and then we go right in to block 2. 10 seconds. Open up your lips. Let the air escape. Let it out. In 3, 2, and 1. Switch hands. Shake out your shoulders. And let's reposition. Turn your toes out or turn your right foot out slowly and slightly. Taking the back of your knuckles to the inner thigh. Let's press that left side overhead, and let's go right into it. Now, it's important that you look up at your hand as you go through this movement. It helps keep that arm kind of in position, and it also helps by keeping your balance and prevents you from getting dizzy. So we have that 30-second mark. Try to get your ear as close to your bicep as you can as you stand nice and tall. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely starting to feel it. My obliques are having a conversation with me right now. 10 seconds. Let the air out. Let's get 1 or 2 more in. Let's go for 1 more. And bring it right back in. Arm down, switch sides. You do not have to go at my pace. Super important that you remember that. You go at your own pace. You do what works best for you. Curl it. Big overhead press. Turn your toes out. Bring your knuckles in. Slight bend of your knee. And let's go. 45 seconds. Allow your breath to help carry your body. Think about your dumbbell overhead being held by a string so that it stays in position, almost like it's floating. Nicely done. Stay with it. You're almost there. I'm right here with you. We have 15 seconds, just 15 seconds. Then we get to take this arm down and move on. Let's see if we can get 1 more in here. Big reach, and uncurl it, and bring it back. Take your dumbbell and chuck it across the room. I'm kidding. Place it down. You don't need this anymore. So go ahead, put it down on the ground, shake your hands out. So now we are going to take everything down to the floor. So make sure that you have some space, and let's bring it on down. So let's start in kneeling. And let's talk about our positioning. So you want to make sure that your shoulders, your elbows, and your wrists are stacked. So they are in one, I'm not going to say perfect, there's no such thing as perfect, but as perfect as you can get, line. Let's find ourselves in our high plank. So our second block, we are going for 1 full minute. 1 minute on, 30 seconds off. Are you ready? So we're going to start by lifting our left leg up overhead, so a little bit of a pike here, and then just driving your knee to your elbow and pausing for maybe 2 seconds. Are you ready? Let's go. Bring it up and right back. Now remember how I said that our second block was going to be when our heart rate starts to elevate into zone 2. Well, this is what zone 2 feels like. Take your time. There is 0 rush. If at any point you need to bring your knees down to the floor and take that rest, you take the rest. Your option is to bring your knee all the way down to the floor, and then you can drive everything back up and bring that right knee down to the floor as well to give you that extra little rest that you might need, and that's okay. You never need to apologize for your body needing to do what it's telling you it needs to do. We have about 10 seconds here, and then we come down to the ground. Both knees hit the floor in 5. Let's get 1 more in together, and go ahead, take both knees down to the ground, walk your hands back, and just hang tight. Give both wrists a little bit of a swivel the other way. I like to press back on my hands, and it kind of opens things up a little bit. So we're here for Another 15 seconds, and we go right back into it the other side. The nice thing is we only go through each movement one time. So that's the last time you're gonna see it on that side, and let's switch over to the other. Find yourself in your nice high plank. Are you ready? 60 seconds, let's go. Driving your opposite leg up, hips follow, driving your body forward as your knee drives in. Big lift, and right back. Your option, big lift, drive your knee to the floor, and that's okay. Heart rate is elevated here. Breath is heavier, sweat is dripping. There's a lot going on. We're almost at the halfway point. Try to keep looking directly between your thumbs, maybe about a foot or two ahead of you. Nice. I'm right here with you. If you're starting to feel the shakes, it's not because you're doing anything wrong, it's because you're working hard. We're working hard. I'm shaking right here with you. We have about 10 seconds left. Recovery is right there. We earned this recovery in 5. Let's get this last one in. 2, and drive your knees to the floor. Walk your hands back. Ha. Give yourself the ha. And give it a little stretch. You are supposed to have this time to recover. You're supposed to need this recovery. Now we're gonna move on to our third move, our low wide plank. Stacking our shoulders directly over our elbows. Forearms are flat, and our legs are as wide as our hips. Are you ready? 60 seconds. I'll start, you follow. So instead of keeping your thighs squeezed together, can you separate your feet just a little bit wider? If your booty is all the way up here, this is not a dance class, tuck it in. And that's it. This is it. It is not very exciting, I know. You're like, come on, give me something. This is what I have for you. But here's the thing. When we find stillness and effort and challenge like this is when the magic happens. Force yourself to stay in this moment for another 30 seconds. Embrace the shake. I know. If you start to sink, lift it up. If you start to lift, bring it back down. Find that happy place, tucking in your tailbone, pressing through your shoulders. Your shoulder blades are not connecting here. 10 seconds, your heart rate is at its highest point right now, and you're not even doing any movement. You're just holding. 5, 4, 3, 2, knees come down, walk it back, and breathe. One more move. One more movement. We're going to stay with the low plank. I'm gonna ask you that you bring your legs a little closer together than you just had them, and we're just gonna lift one leg at a time on my count. I've got you. I'm not asking you to trust me. I'm asking you to trust yourself here. Trust yourself. Are you ready? Let's go. 60 seconds. Find yourself in your low plank. Go ahead. And you're just gonna lift your left leg slightly off the ground, 2-3 inches, hold it. Hold it, and bring it right back down. Lift your right leg, hold it. Bring it right back down. If this gets too intense for you, your options are always to just bring your knees down to the ground, take the breathing space that you need, and then you come back and you join me when you feel like you're good and ready. But we're almost there, we're so close. We have 30 seconds left. This is when you dig deep and you remember what you're made of, how capable you are. We're a team right now. You hear it in my voice. This isn't supposed to be easy. We don't show up for easy. We show up for challenging. And that's how we get through life, right? We keep showing up, we keep putting in the work. Can you get another 5 seconds in? We can. 3, other side, come on. 2 and 1, drop to your knees. Walk your hands back and breathe. How did that feel? If you feel like everything was shaking and uncomfortable and sweating and you weren't even running around, good. And you always have the opportunity to come back to this workout and do it again and challenge yourself different. Walk your hands back. We got ourselves into zone 2. And now we're gonna bring ourselves right back into zone 1. So stay down on the ground. Let the tops of your shoelaces or the tops of your feet kind of just hang on the floor, and take your heels take your backside all the way to your heels. Separate your knees a little bit and start to walk your hands out or crawl your hands out and just let your body relax. Now, this is going to look different for everyone or differently for everyone. You might be up here. You might be able to come down to the ground. Do what your body's telling you to do. Little by little, let's start to walk our hands over towards the left side, keeping our chest down towards the floor. Big exhale. And start little by little, tiny steps. Walk your hands over towards the right, getting that stretch on the outside of our right oblique, left oblique. And let's walk our hands right back. So hold it here for another 3, 2, we're gonna come back onto all fours, 1, and we're gonna find ourselves right back in tabletop. Tuck your toes in, tuck your knees in. We're staying right down on the ground. So all you're going to do is lift your spine, almost like someone's trying to pull you up from your back, rounding your spine. Hold it right here. You're looking right in between your thighs. Whew. And now someone's pushing you down, so you have that little curve of your spine and you're looking directly overhead. Yes. And let's get one more in just like that. Nice and easy. There is no quick movement here. And right back, last one. You got it. Let the tops of your shoelaces rest on the ground. Walk your hands right back so that you're seated. Give your wrists a little shake. One time, just press back. Little dance. And final inhale overhead. Bring everything right back to your center. My name is Christina. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you were able to build a stronger foundation. And like I said when we jumped on, it is not the beauty of the building, but it is the construction of the foundation that makes that building stronger. So it is the construction of your foundation that makes you the strongest version of you. I will see you on the next one. Take care.